Before I explain why this bizarre title, I would like to tell you guys a short story. Let's assume there's Mr. X, who is an high-level government official. He's traveling to some place with an army convoy. There are supposed to be 30 army personals escorting him. The person, let's take it as Mr. ABC, who's supposed to send 30 army personals, but he sent only 20 army personals. So on the way of traveling, let's assume that 30 terrorists attack them. There would be only 20 army officers protecting Mr. X instead of 30. So, what are the odds? Most probably, the terrorists have the upper hand. They might end up capturing Mr. X and maybe killing him. That's what's bound to happen. So, can you say that it is the army personnel's fault that they can't protect Mr. X? Can you term it as their inability to protect Mr. X? No, of course not. It was supposed to be Mr. ABC who should have sent 30 soldiers instead of 20. If you look at the big picture, Mr. ABC is at fault. Now we will relate the story to our title. So Mr. ABC is the delay in NEET PG. The army soldiers are the doctors. The terrorists are the diseases. And Mr. X is the common people or the patients or your family members. So it's almost an year, but still there's one full batch of doctors left to be filled by NEET PG. Let's say there should be 300 doctors in a government hospital. But since one batch is completely left unfilled, there will be only 200 doctors. So how can they compensate for those 100 doctors? Do you think it's possible? Doctors already overwork. Many of them don't know their ridiculous work schedule. They have to compensate for them. But the thing is, let's compare. Both army and doctors are risking their lives trying to protect Mr. X or the patients. Comparing the odds, the army is going to get defeated, the doctors are going to get defeated. Please, this is just an hypothetical scenario just to explain, nothing intentional. Even though if army fails at protecting Mr. X, they are martyred, they get medals. But if the doctors work till their last minute and they couldn't save Mr. X or the patients, they are getting thrashed by mobs and the family relatives. As I said earlier, we can term that it is the army's inability to protect Mr. X. Mr. ABC is at fault. The same applies for doctors too, right? They are overworking, they do ridiculous shifts, yet they get thrashed. Ultimately, 1/3 doctors are deficit in the country right now. Even though NEET PG has been conducted, there has been a delay in counselling. Who do you think is going to get affected? No, not the government. The only group affected are doctors and common public who doesn't have any clue why NEET PG can impact them. It's not their fault, but they should know that too. Thank you.